Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back from the weekend. What's going on, everybody? You're watching the EV Betting Strategy Show, finding your best EV bets for the day. Got a good amount of basketball games today, only a couple hockey. Hockey schedules, look, I'm sure there's a reason for it, but as someone who likes using PortfolioEV, who likes top-down betting approach, anyone who even likes hockey, the schedules are so dumb. It's like every Monday there's one game, and then Wednesday there's two games. And then Saturday, there's 15 games. Tuesday, there's 13. I don't know, whatever. All I'm saying, quiet day in the NHL streets, but we got plenty going on for basketball. Tomorrow should be another busy one as well. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend, a good betting weekend. We're glad to have Greg Ehrenberg back in the seat with us as well. Happy to have you guys in chat watching this. Tell your friends about the show. Tell them, hey, you want to understand how to bet sharp and make more money. Come watch this show every Monday through Friday at 1:00. But hey, Greg, let me get straight to it. Ben Rasa filling in for you on Friday, and I decided that, hey, we're going to build a few parlays out. If one of these hits, we're going to give the winnings away to someone who comments on the X show in the chat there, comments down below after the fact, or here in the chat, just like Jake or Brett or Joseph. And by God, we hit one. Plus 831 on DraftKings, man. Plus 831. And how about this? This is where it gets even crazier. What have I told you? Everyone's saying, you guys only have unders. You only have unders on PortfolioEV. Not that it would matter. Winners are winners. What have I told you? 2 of the 4 were overs, and they absolutely smashed.
Good deal. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. So if you guys didn't watch the show on Friday, which I wasn't here, I was out sick, you missed out. I missed out too, because here's what we had for a parlay on Friday. Like Lofty said, it was over plus 800, plus 831, and this was, let's see, what site was this? BetMGM?
This was DraftKings.
Okay, DraftKings parlay. I didn't see that in the image, but we had DeMar DeRozan over 3.5.
I couldn't fit all of it in the image because of how the screen share.
DeRozan over 3.5 assists. Dylan Brooks under 2.5 threes. Zach Edey under 7.5 rebounds, and Jamal Sheed over 2.5 assists. So 2 overs, 2 unders, all 4 legs hit, plus 831. And tools have been on fire since the All-Star break, Lofty. We've had, you hit on the parlay on the show the other day. I know my bankroll building thread, it hasn't had a losing day since the All-Star break, and almost all of the days have been like not even close, just been crushing days. So hopefully we keep it rolling.
Yeah, man. Look, you're going to have some downs, some ups, but over time you zoom out. It's all positive, baby. I'll tell you that much. But happy to have you guys with us. If you don't mind, steal this from my stochastic bit. Atone for your sins here this afternoon. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Believe it or not, goes a very long way for us. And we appreciate you guys. Also, yes, subscribing, thumbs, all that stuff is free. 100%. You hate it? We'll gladly refund your misery. Unsubscribe, you never have to hear from us again. I don't think you should, or that you'll want to, but you can. And leave a comment down below if you're listening after the fact. Dude. So I'm gonna pick a winner today. I'm gonna hit them up and we'll get them paid. I'm pretty excited about that because the truth is that they're going to hit less often than they're not going to hit more often than they're going to hit. Like we were building, Greg. We had like a 13-1, an 11-1. An 8-1. It was plus 831. So the fact that we hit on one of them is good stuff. Pete Shepard said he made 3 parlays off those picks and all 3 hit. So we'll take it. Hey, new look to the UI over there on OddsShopper as well. We'll make some tweaks to this. It just went live 30 minutes ago?
Maybe even less than that. We got a message from the devs right before we were starting that there was UI update. So we weren't exactly sure if we were going to be able to do the show today just as the update was getting rolled out. But yeah, it is live here. You guys will see that some different coloring. It's a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Still some updates that are going to be coming. Like you see here, like the bet size. This is a little bit bigger font and off-centered here. So anything that you guys notice here that either you like or you dislike, let us know so we can relay it to the devs.
Yeah, absolutely. Obson, what's up, brother? He hit me up after the show the other day. He said, yeah, we know each other. And I know exactly who he is. 5 straight days of profit with the portfolio tool. How about that?
Pretty good.
Yeah. So let's build some parlays out. Let's see what we got on the board. If you scroll down, I think there's a Tim Hardaway bet that I was trying to get in before that moves as well. I think it was Tim Hardaway points. Oh, and Kawhi Leonard just got ruled out.
Yeah.
Lauri Markkanen and Walker Kessler with an illness just got ruled out. So, and Norman Powell's out too, right?
Yeah, we're getting players ruled out all over the place here. Kind of funny because there's usually a big NBA news injury update at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time, and team just kind of jumping the gun by ruling guys out before we even get there. But like Lofty said, yeah, a bunch of guys just got ruled out, and that's going to be interesting to see what that ends up meaning for some of the bets on the board. What happens with James Harden props and some of the other role players for the Clippers, and now also the Jazz guys with Walker Kessler and Lauri Markkanen being out. That definitely could be something that ends up playing a role here in the top bets on the board.
And also, yeah, Pete, I know that was you, man. Congrats on that. I was happy to see it. I remember you. Another thing, I hope over the past couple of weeks, Greg and I doing this show have taught you a couple, wrinkles in the tools to help you out. And one of those being that when you get injury news break like this, if you see bets pop up with an OS rating that seems too good to be true, it generally is. And that's because some of the sharper books are actually some of the slower movers to injury news, slower to react to injury news. Just worth keeping in mind here. So if any of that pops up, Greg, we'll keep an eye on it. And as always, you can hit that drop down, go into graphs, and then you can just see if, say, Penny has even moved off this to begin with. Gives us a much better idea to know, oh, all of these other books had sharp movement right at the time a player was ruled out. Penny hasn't moved at all. Yeah, another way to do it, or to know, if every book is lighting up green like a Christmas tree and Penny's the only red one, might be another red flag there. So just a few things to consider if you're new with the tools.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because the last time you and I were doing a show together, it was Thursday. That was when Norman Powell initially got hurt and got added to the injury report. And Penny left stale lines up for over an hour for that particular day. They actually didn't even change them. It didn't look like until Norman Powell actually got ruled out later on in the day. It was forever. They were hanging stale lines. Like I remember I was monitoring a Zubats one, and it was just completely flat the entire day. They just didn't move it at all until Norman Powell was officially ruled out.
Yeah. So it's going to happen. And like you said, he did get ruled out too. It wasn't even like he ended up playing and none of it mattered. Let's get some bets here. Last thing I'll mention just as housekeeping and try and help you guys out in chat. Jalen West, hey guys, I'm new to this. Might be a dumb question, but is there a way you can sort your portfolio bets to only be by a certain sports book? Yeah. Just go into like where Greg has one of 4 portfolios active, click that drop down, and then you can just like say you had a DraftKings, a FanDuel, an MGM, whatever. Just I think that's what he's asking, Greg.
Yeah. He wants to know how he could build a portfolio that only has a specific book.
Yeah.
So what you would do is you would go into this, you'd create a portfolio. And then when you're selecting your sports books, just select the sports books you want to see. I know Lofty does this. This is something I do as well for my own personal portfolio EV use, is I do have ones that are like all encompassing with a lot of different stuff. But then I also have portfolios built down by different sports books that I use, like a DraftKings one, a FanDuel one, a BetMGM one. And I also have a version of that within the tools that we use for this piece of content here. But if you want to go and build one for yourself, because I assume that probably means Jalen hasn't built out a portfolio yet, but just create a portfolio, either build out separate ones for different sports books, if that is how you want to sort it, or just for the individual sports books that you're using. And then after you have them built out and also label them so you know what it actually is, then you just select, like in here, I have the DraftKings one. So if I only have the DraftKings one selected, it's only going to show DraftKings bets.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. I want to pull a few bets off the board first, and then we'll build some parlays. Let's see if we can keep running hot from Friday. Sometimes that happens. But yeah, I love how you have our own portfolio for this show. All right, so DraftKings popping with some big ones. Do me a favor. Go to that Okongwu one real quick and just hit the drop down. I want to see if Onyx has moved faster than DraftKings on probably all of these.
Has that been how it seems to me?
This is a post All-Star break development.
Yeah. So, I mean, Onyx clearly going through a lot of changes because 2 weeks ago they were a copy of FanDuel. Then they moved to a copy of DraftKings. And now it seems like they open with DraftKings, but kind of move differently. And it also seems they've started to move faster. Yep. I have a feeling on this, Lofty. It's just a hypothesis, so it could certainly be wrong. I think some of the strongest DraftKings bets you could find are the ones that have a better line than Onyx odds. So like Okongwu, for instance, here, because at some point, this number matched the Onyx number. Onyx has moved it to minus 137. DraftKings still has it minus 125. It already projects out really well for us. So it's a bet we would want to take on Okongwu. That makes me feel it's an even stronger bet, though, because it's moved on Onyx, but hasn't yet on DK.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more at all. I mean, look, you have Khalil Ware, you have Onyeka Okongwu. Can you go down a little bit? Because I think we have enough right now to where we could just build out a sick looking parlay for DraftKings. Look, we have 4 DraftKings bets on the top of the map that have 4 OS ratings or higher.
Yeah, I was going to say, if there's a boost on DraftKings, a few of these are from the same game. We might even be able to make a same game parlay.
I believe they have the triple boost pack. Yeah, we would need 4, though. You know, something I was discussing with Ben the other day. Hop into the parlay builder. Let's see if we can do this. That if you build something and it has like 3+ EV legs for DraftKings, and then one of them is just 0%, you can still plug that in there. If the bet itself is still grading out in the parlay builder as plus EV. What do we not have popping up?
There we go. All right. So I'll send this over to the devs. It looks like or whatever, it just fixed itself now. For whatever reason, when I first went to the parlay builder, it wasn't showing the NBA bets. I changed it to the NBA, and then the NBA bets showed up. And then when I went back to everything showed up. I'll send that as a note to them.
Actually, we can make the same game parlay here if we want. It's the 20% profit boost.
Okay.
While you do this, I'm going to plug this one in and see what we can get to. It would be the Miami and Atlanta game.
Okay. And by the way, the Okongwu one just moved, which Pete messaged us about in chat, which is true. Yeah, Okongwu, which kind of goes to what we were saying before. The number was under 27.5 PRA. Now it's moved to 26.5 PRA. Goes to show how good that bet was, though, because even though it's under 26.5 and still juiced towards the under, it's still showing up as plus EV. But we've gotten here Khalil Ware. We've got him for under 12.5 points, minus 110. We've got George Niang, under 2.5 threes at minus 130. We've got Tyler Hero, under 3.5 threes. That one was at plus money. And then, is Okongwu just off the board now?
Oh, did it just disappear? Maybe, yeah.
All right. Well, that happened quick. All right. So we're going to have to find another one. Miami, Atlanta. Can we combine Niang points with threes? Does it allow us to do that?
Probably. But let's just see how bad it nukes the odds.
If not, we could also go to Khalil Ware under 9.5 rebounds.
Yeah. So that gets us. What would it be? All right, ready? What would it be if you put in the Niang under 11.5? The George Niang.
Plus 1254.
Okay. So this is why we do this, right? Because
it's going to be bad, isn't it?
It's not good. Plus 700.
Ooh.
So our parlay builder is showing uncorrelated odds there. Right? Then you pay that correlation tax at plus 700. So yeah, I'd say we probably stay away from that one.
All right. Let's see if
we boosted it, it still only gets us to plus 840.
It looks like I can't scroll down to remove the individual legs.
Why not? It's right there. Remove.
No. It only the top 2, though. It's not showing the bottom ones that we just added in.
Oh, gotcha. All right, just remove them all. We just deployed this new UI like 30 minutes ago, so we'll have some hiccups. This is good. You guys can tell us what we need to report back to the devs.
Yeah.
But no, I think you can message them later, Greg. We're doing a show here, pal.
I can do both.
I think probably the best thing we do, I don't know if we want to try and force this same game parlay until later in the show. I say we build out like a good 4-leg parlay. We already said, I mentioned to you guys, we hit one on Friday, and it's not like we build a lot of them. We hit an plus 831 using the plus EV parlays, the parlay builder right here. It's a good win. And the winnings go to anybody who leaves a comment on X, leaves a comment in the chat live, leaves a comment after the fact. That's how we're going to do it. We'll pull somebody. And then I would say, let us know your Twitter handle too. Throw your Twitter handle in there. So if you're leaving a comment, throw your X handle, Twitter handle in there so I can hit you up in DM you. Make it easier. I'll just find you right away. So we'll randomly pull somebody, but leave a random comment. If you're on X and you're doing it, don't worry about that. It'll be a lot easier to find you. But right now, just looking at this, Greg, I see, we could use one of those 2 Minnesota props.
Mm-hmm.
We could use one of those 2. I mean, probably the Ware prop on points under 12.5, because we have that as a very good bet. Minus 119 true odds. We're getting it at minus 110. The Nas Reed spot looks fantastic. So we could plug that in and see where we go from there. Just start it off with one from each of those 2 games.
Could the parlay boost, does it work for same game parlay X? Because we could do 2-2 games.
Yes, it does. Oh, yes. All right. So yeah, good call.
Because we could do these 4 then.
All right. Let me keep, is that 9 3-pointers? All right. Now they get weird about this sometimes, where it's like they will only allow you to do, or it won't let you same game parlay exit. But let's try this. That is a fantastic idea because that does count. So we want Reed under rebounds.
Yeah. So we have Nas Reed under 8.5 rebounds, Anthony Edwards under 3.5 threes, Khalil Ware under 12.5 points, and then Tyler Hero under 3.5 threes.
Okay. Fantastic. I'm plugging it in right now. Let's see where it gets us. And what are the odds on that?
Yeah, so the odds here, it is plus 1460. It also has a very high ROI, so we have a good amount of wiggle room if it isn't similar odds.
All right, Anthony Edwards threes. Because even if this isn't plus EV, we can turn it to a plus EV bet. Oh man, DraftKings is only allowing overs on Minnesota right now for same game parlays.
What is that? What is
like if you go to Anthony Edwards made 3-pointers over under, even under same game parlay, it still only offers you over 3.5. So I say we come back to this when we can find enough. Let's build out an uncorrelated, no same game parlay and see what odds we get. We hit this, we're giving away the winnings anyway. Plus, I'm going to bet it myself.
Yeah, why do they have it listed? Because I just pulled it up because I was curious to see what it says. It's listed over under, and then they only have the over there, which I know. I'm well aware. I was just curious to see what it actually looked like on the app, and this is some bullshit.
All right, so let's go DraftKings. And I mean, out of the gate, we're just going to take the 2 highest ones from each individual game. We have to.
Nas Reed.
Mm-hmm. We're going to take Nas Reed. We're going to take
Khalil Ware.
Yep.
A guy from Philly. You got to like Paul George unders right now.
Yeah, you sure do. You sure do. That gets us to plus 511. You guys tell me. We want to make it a 4-legger. We want to give ourselves a better shot to win with a 4-legger. I'm sorry, more winnings. Or you want to keep it at 3 with a higher win probability. Personally, I say we go to 4. What are the odds on some of these? Are they all minus money? We got minus 140. We got minus 110. We got minus 115.
Correct.
Yeah, I say we throw in the old 4th leg there.
All right. So we've got Siakam under 3.5 assists. Kind of our only option because all the other ones are from games that we've already included.
That's okay with me.
And that gets us to just over 10-1.
All right, so we got Nas Reed under 8.5 boards at minus 140. We have Ware under 12.5 for those of you listening and not watching, points, minus 110. 6 OS rating on that. Mind you, this is a DraftKings specific parlay for you guys. Don't place it elsewhere. It's going to be a minus EV bet. I'll tell you right now that if you were to scroll, Greg, on that, there are probably some books that have just terrible odds there. Remember how to scroll across the books?
Yeah, I'm looking right here. So we've got it. There's so many other books in here. I don't even know what logo this is.
I don't know what that is.
That's what I was trying to figure out. I'm looking at it. I'm trying to say what odds are at this book, but I don't know what the book is.
It's the red and white one. I don't know what that is. I was hoping you could help me out.
No. I was looking for a lifeline from you. So plus 991 from Orange Book. And then we've got plus 991 as well from Fanatics. So these two books are the exact same odds. We've got plus 910 from PointsBet.
So these are actually a little better than I thought, but still best odds on DraftKings. What's Penny at?
Plus 733 on Pinnacle.
Yeah. And we're getting 10-1 here.
It's actually plus EV on a couple of these other books, but nothing close to DraftKings. And once again, we don't even know what this book is. Read
the bets back for the people one more time.
All right. So what we have,
and I'm asking this selfishly so I can place them in the parlay builder.
I know what you're doing. I understand.
Well, because if you put them in the parlay builder, you can just click bet now and it's going to add them to my bet slip. So I don't have to do it myself. Same with the mass entry tool. If you want to bet 20 at a time, just click mass enter and it adds them to your bet slip. So you're doing me a favor and the people here who are probably using the same function I am.
Yeah. So we've got Naz Reid under 8.5 rebounds. We've got Khalil Ware under 12.5 points. We've got Paul George under 29.5 PRA. And then we've got Pascal Siakam under 3.5 assists.
Perfect. All right, I'm locking it in. Bet now. Boom. See, added straight to the bet slip. Let's get it in there. Perfect. Let's build another. What book you want to go to?
Let's see what else. I'm going to go to just really quick to Top Bets to see what else is showing a good amount of bets. All right, so we got the DraftKings ones. I don't know. We might be able to for BetMGM.
Sure, and we can try FanDuel. Always a little bit tougher, but when good FanDuel parlays pop up, we're going to bet them. Limits are better there. My limits on Onyx are still decent. I don't know how long it'll last, Greg, but I'm happy about that.
All right.
What about BetMGM? Are you still surviving there with your method of betting?
I am. I got a little nervous the other day, but I'm still going.
That's amazing. Because BetMGM, if you're betting all straights, can get you. This is what you want to do. Bet some plus EV parlays here. All right, throw up NBA. Let's see if we have anything good for MGM. And guys, make sure, even if you don't use our tools, that you're on as many books as possible, right? Hopefully this is an illustration of like where in one spot there's a really good bet that is actually a objectively bad bet on another book. It's a couple clicks of a button that's going to save you a lot of money in the long run. All right, Jaden McDaniels, under on points. Naz Reid is up there too.
Yep.
Just to make sure, was there any Minnesota news that I'm missing here?
Let me double check to make sure that nothing has changed. It is the tail end of a back-to-back for them. So we have for Minnesota, nothing new. Jalen Clark is questionable. He's nominal. Rudy Gobert is questionable. Obviously, he's somebody who matters. But with that said, he's been out. So I kind of feel like these lines are based on the assumption that Rudy Gobert is going to sit, because this is exactly what these guys' lines were yesterday in the same matchup against OKC.
Yeah. I mean, what would Naz Reid rebound prop be if Rudy Gobert wasn't on the injury list?
It was 8.5 yesterday, so probably still 8.5.
No, if Rudy Gobert wasn't on the injury list.
No, that's what I'm saying is Gobert was out yesterday and the line was 8.5 on Naz Reid. Like, I think the line is just assuming he's going to be out.
Right. Let's see. I pulled it up right now to see historically what his rebound props have been at. And let's see. Yeah, you're looking at 6, 7.5.
Oh, I just realized I misunderstood. You meant if Gobert was playing, not if he was already officially ruled out.
Yeah, I said if he wasn't on the injury report, but yeah, sorry. If he was active and we knew he was playing.
Got you. Yeah, if we knew he was playing, then the line. Also, even more reason to like the unders. Let's say that Gobert.
I know.
Let's say Gobert actually ends up. He is officially questionable. Let's say he ends up playing. This Nas Reed line is going to go from 8.5 to 7.5, or maybe even 6.5, but then juice towards the over.
This is one of those interesting spots where if we assume that Nas Reed, when was Rudy Gobert ruled out yesterday?
Well in advance.
Okay, so Nas Reed's rebound prop of 8.5 was 8.5, not while Gobert was questionable, but after Gobert was out, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. So then if that's the case, this is one of those few rare spots where you actually benefit from betting the unders instead of the overs with injury news pending. Because usually it's the other way around.
Yeah. If Gobert is ruled out, these lines don't change. These just are what the numbers are going to be. If Gobert's in, then these lines look like tremendous values. Like Jaden McDaniels had to play a bunch of center minutes yesterday. Nas Reed, obviously, increased rebound opportunities for him. And then on top of it all, you've also got a matchup here on the road in OKC. It's the tail end of a back-to-back. I know the game was competitive yesterday, but this game is the largest spread of any game on the slate. OKC's favored by 12 points. So let's say you get a scenario here where just the game even plays out as is. I think there's some blowout risk here, which also makes some of the unders look good.
All right, good call. So let's throw McDaniels in there.
Yeah, let's change it to the same game parlay. Yeah, we could actually go McDaniels, Reed, and then another McDaniels prop as well.
Oh, you want to go same game here?
Oh, yeah, that's what because McDaniels and Reed, we kind of have to if we're including both of them.
Sure. Yeah. And another thing, I'm just looking at this now. Mm-hmm. I went into the top bets page. You guys can do this too. By the way, your first week is free. If you want to try PortfolioEV out, try the Parlay Builder out, try all the tools out, you get it 100% free. No strings attached, 100% free. Click the description, right? Expand that. You'll see sign up for PortfolioEV now. Click that, get your first week free. That's all you got to do. So you can do all this for yourself. You can learn the tools, learn how to navigate them like we do. And as always, Greg and I are happy to help you. If you ever have questions, hit us up in chat. Our DMs are open on X, all of that stuff. We're more than happy to help you out with. So don't forget that. If you're new to this, I answer questions. I know Greg does. I answer questions all the time about this stuff because I want you guys to be successful. The great thing with betting on sports.
I was going to tell people, if you're signing up, another way to get in for free, if you're signing up for a new book, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with our DFS shows and our DFS products, the same link join offer that we have for stochastic packages, we have for OddsShopper packages too. So if you guys are looking to sign up for a new book, you can sign up for 3 new books and you get a free month of PortfolioEV for each book you sign up for as well.
Yep. And last thing, if you're a PortfolioEV user already and you profited over, what is it, $1,000 in a month? Mm-hmm. Make sure to tweet us your Pickett or OddsShopper Bet Tracker results. Tell us how we helped you, and you get a free month of PortfolioEV. And you can do that, I think, up to 4 times, like 4 months in a row. So you can free roll your PortfolioEV subs in a million different ways. All those links down there. But yeah, make sure, like if you've already done it, and you go, I use the tool, I'm up over $1,000 in a month, or maybe next month. Keep that in mind. OddsShopper HOF, tweet us there. And tweet OddsShopper and let us know. Because, yeah, then you just get a bunch of stuff for free. Yeah.
Just got some more injury news. Nothing that's too significant, though. Malcolm Brogdon was out. He was already not expected to play. And then we've got Alex Sarr. He's questionable, but that was also assumed to be the case. So no real changes there.
All right. So here's what I want to do. See if we can build this out. With how many for we have McDaniels, we have Reed. I like your thinking too with these unders with the Rudy Gobert situation. And I just checked it. Penny, FanDuel, almost every other book is minus EV here. So this isn't one of those odd situations where Minnesota is just popping everywhere.
Now we've got here plus 442 on BetMGM. It's plus 431 on DK.
Go ahead. Tell me, Greg.
This is B. They've got it at plus 417.
We just added a bunch of new books, and I don't know what half of them are.
Yeah, this is B. I don't know. Also, some of the books change their logos. It just like I remember when Prize Picks changed their logo last year, and all of a sudden we had to change the branding. We were doing content to like change the different stuff, and I didn't know what the logo was when they had changed it there. But yeah, so no, it can't be better because it's a pick'em site. So
is it Betfair?
Betfred? Betfair? There's a bunch of.
Someone in chat's gonna know. Someone in chat will let us know what this is.
Onyx has it at plus 409. Sleeper plus 4. I think it actually might be better. Because we got Sleeper here.
I bet you're. I don't think it is. Oh, maybe they just changed it. I bet you're right. Yeah, maybe they just changed their logo. Yep. But yeah.
Once again, this is Jade, same game parlay. Jaden McDaniels under 14.5 points. Naz Reid under 8.5 rebounds. And Jaden McDaniels under 7.5 rebounds.
Cool. We got a lot of injury news coming in too, so we'll keep you guys up to speed on that as well. A lot of things can change very quickly. Go back to the top bets page for a second, Greg.
Will do.
So how many bets for FanDuel do we have right now?
Got a couple here. One really good one in Karis Levert under 1.5 threes. Now, this is a bet that has a negative 1.9% HRI for the season, but kind of related to what you and I were talking about last week. When the OS rating is 12, the EV is 6. Like, I'm okay with a negative HROI when the rating is this good.
Also, I mentioned to you last week that there's over like 600 or 700 tracked bets for odds that are minus 150 or longer, and that turns it like 4% positive. Now, sure, you'd love to see 1,000, but this is minus 102, so I don't actually mind that. We have true odds at minus 115 here, so we could actually create a 3-leg parlay with a Karis Levert under 1.5 threes. Yeah, Penny's got that at minus 136. We could go Mathurin under points.
One thing I want to check. I think it should be fine, actually. So McConnell was downgraded to questionable a little bit before the show started. I wanted to check if Pinnacle is updated. But considering that DraftKings also has the line at minus 125, I think it stands to reason that Pinnacle has updated their line.
Also, Lucas said, tired of Karis Levert disappointing you in DFS. Bet his under. This is the way. Yeah, this is the ultimate way to spite all of the times Karis Levert has hurt everybody, for sure. Oh, they didn't. So do you want to remove that one?
Let's see, so they've never changed it.
What did FanDuel do? Oh, they didn't. So nothing really moved.
Yeah, FanDuel didn't move it either. What did DraftKings do? DraftKings did move it, although nominally. All right. Yeah. So I think the Mathurin bet makes sense.
Okay, collapse that, and let's see if we have one more FanDuel one we can throw in here and then build it out in the builder.
All right, so we've got Levert under 1.5 threes. We've got Mathurin under 14.5 points.
There's a points prop.
Oh, yeah. We've got Zachary Sachet for under 12.5 points. Although, with that said, is the same game as Karis Levert. So it might move around the odds a little bit.
Yeah. Well, let me see if we have any promos for FanDuel today.
Let's see, there's a 30% profit boost for a 3-leg same game parlay.
Ooh. Can we go Ricochet, Levert, and one more? If you scroll down, do we have anything else from that Atlanta game?
Another Levert points. We could try points and threes under for Levert. I have a feeling it's not going to help a lot, but maybe.
Yeah, is that it? Is there nothing else there from any?
We've got Davion. It's assists though, and
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
And it's a under 1 OS rating. We've got Aaron Neesmith under 8.5 points. Oh no, never mind. Different game.
We have a lot on the board right now, actually.
Yeah, nothing else from that game.
Anything from that Chicago game? Because we need 3 legs, correct?
Correct.
So there's Lonzo Ball threes.
I want to see what the odds are. I'll put in the odds for the Levert threes endpoints.
Yeah, go for it. All of these guys, by the way, are positive bets if you're betting them individually. So don't think you just have to throw them into a parlay. Yeah, Patrick, we're going ahead and we're doing what we can to build one for FanDuel right now. But just keep that in mind. You can bet these individually. I already have with many of them. So, yeah, don't think that just because we can't build out a same game parlay that they're not viable plays, because they are, without question. Matter of fact, some of these look great. I mean, that Karis LeVert threes, Mathurin still looks good there. All right. But we can try to build a parlay out, see if there's anything that we can build that's not a same game parlay. Because, yeah, the boosts help, but also you're limited on those boosts for all of these anyway. So we might actually be able to get a decent bet down. Not to say you spend your bankroll on a parlay. Let's see if anything pops up.
All right. So it was 366 when I plugged it in on FanDuel.
Did that also Thompson bet just come up?
Yeah. Under 6.5 rebounds for Sar Thompson. That was not there a second ago.
It was not. I am betting that right now. Give me 1 second, please. Oh, yeah, dude. Penny is under 5.5 at minus 141. You're literally stealing an entire rebound here.
Right. Asar Thompson for
You're
under 6.5 rebounds.
A full rebound.
Bet it.
Beautiful.
All right. I got that one in.
Wow, yeah, under 6.5, minus 146. Look at the odds on some of these other books. Penny 5.5, minus 141. MGM under 5.5, minus 135. Damn, heavy juiced under 5.5 on a lot of these books as well. We'll take it. We will take it. Perfect. All right, so why don't we throw that into the parlay builder too?
We could add the Mathurin one in. That was pretty easy, actually. A lot of these are actually from this game as well. We could just do a 2-leg parlay, though.
I don't hate it. Yeah. Jake, are the books subscribed to this channel? I hope not. KBG Poker, I see you guys show the monthly trackers people send where it shows profit loss by day, all on one screen for the month. How do I see this for mine? I'm on it. Yeah, the bet tracker. So if you go in the bet tracker and just sync your books, it's really cool. You can isolate everything. Like if you wanted to see how 3-pointers did on FanDuel this month, you can select that specifically, right? If you want to see how NHL shots on goal did just on DraftKings, you can do all of that with bet type, sportsbook, league, you name it. So yeah, definitely utilize this feature. It'll help you refine your process as well.
And to answer Patrick in chat, it was just a 2-leg parlay we did for FanDuel just because of what was on the board. But it was Asar Thompson under 6.5 rebounds and Benedict Mathurin under 14.5 points.
Yep. Let's see if that Thompson moved. Now I'm curious. Minus 158 already.
There we go.
So what this tells me is that sooner or later, it's going to be very possibly 5.5 on FanDuel.
I don't even see it anymore.
Search his name in the top right.
Oh, the line isn't even showing up for FanDuel anymore.
But it's funny because it just came up positive for Caesars at under 5.5. So yeah, that was a good spot. It might not be coming up, yeah, because look, all the others are 5.5. Scroll down, see if there's an isolated one for 6.5. There, no. Oh yeah, click that one right there.
This is over though.
Oh, you're right. It should be there though if you keep going down.
I don't see it.
I guess not.
Either
way, we'll take that any day of the week. Take it any day of the week. Karis Levert moved to his points prop from -108 to -112. Looking at some of the bets I placed earlier in the day, Aaron Gordon under 5.5 boards from -110 to -125. So getting movement in the right direction. It's all you can ask for, you know?
The Thompson line is now 5.5 on FanDuel. I think they took it down and then just put it back up.
I knew it. Yep.
It's funny though. We actually have a better rating on the 5.5 line because it's plus money than we did on the 6.5 line.
Yeah, well, I mean, that is just an insane rating right there.
Yeah, because now the 5.5 is plus 120, but this is moving a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why.
I don't know. All I know is it's okay. It moved in the right direction.
Yeah, no injury news there.
No. It's Lucas, I want to cash my CLV out and close it a day. Yeah, call it a day. Me too, brother. Me too. It's me. Breezy asked, are the LAC guys or the Clippers guys updated for Kawhi and Powell being out? How long does it take to update them per star player being out? Usually roll guys pop is. So it's not us that's updating them. It's the sharp sources we use to get the true odds on these. They can move slow, right? It's not us that moves. We're just pulling, second by second data, pulling everything in from all of these books.
Yeah, by the way, because I just checked, it looks like Pinnacle hasn't updated lines yet for Kawhi and Norman Powell being out.
Okay.
Because I just looked at this Derek Jones Jr. one. Went to
the under 11.5 points.
Yeah. All right. Pinnacle. And yeah, it hasn't moved at all.
Nope. Man, they have been slow lately. I don't know. They weren't this slow last year.
I don't remember, but they can't be. I mean, this is like insane levels of slowness to update player props for injury news, especially for key. Like, it's not like Kawhi Leonard and Norman Powell are players who don't matter. Yeah. These are very, very important players, and they were ruled out how long ago now? Let's see.
Like an hour.
Norman Powell was ruled out.
What, 45, 50 minutes ago?
43 minutes ago, and they haven't updated lines yet.
Yep. Here's a good question from Jalen West. I get asked this a lot. If the odds move to where you can get a cash out for positive return, do you take it on these bets or do you continue to ride them out? New to this, so I'm not sure how it all works, Greg. So what he's asking is if you can profit from the cash out, should you do it?
So the answer is it depends. The real answer is almost never. So if you were to get, like, let's say you placed a bet and it was $100 bet and you had a 20% expected EV on that bet, you would need to have a cash out of in excess of $120 for you to have better value on the cash out than how it plays out or how it's expected to play out. From looking at cash outs, typically these books are giving you 50% of the value of the expected cash out. It doesn't mean that all of them are negative, but more often than not, if you had to make an educated guess, it's going to be negative.
Yeah. Right. Hold on. If they're offering a cash out, they would like you to take it. Think of it that way. They would prefer you to take it. They're never going to offer you a cash out where they think that the cash out helps you and hurts them. It's just never going to happen. So if you think of it in that sense, then like Greg said, typically no, you wouldn't want to do that. Rare instances would be where it's like in game, and they're offering a cash out on an under, and it's like a good cash out, and you've seen that a player just got hurt in that game that affects that, and they haven't adjusted for it on the books yet, then yeah, maybe you cash it out, because the algorithm on the live odds hasn't caught up yet. But those are few and far between.
By the way, Stephen Boyle in chat said, I've been trying not to hedge anymore. Yeah, you almost never want to hedge. So the situations where I would recommend somebody hedging, it's not over like $5 or something like that. Then you're probably just placing a negative EV bet to try to raise your floor and kill a lot of your ceiling. You're just placing a bad bet for the purpose of trying to lock in a profit.
Yep.
If you do want to hedge, here's the scenario where it might make sense. If you stand to make money that's going to significantly change your quality of life, if you have a bet on, the Eagles to win the Super Bowl this year, and you stand to win $100,000, and that means a lot to you if the Eagles win the Super Bowl, then you could find a way to hedge on the Chiefs side in that kind of scenario. But if it's just, hey, I placed this bet for $20 and the lines move to where you could hedge, it's not worth your while.
Not at all. Yep. And Eric said, portfolio EV is incredible, but I'm getting heavily limited everywhere. Any strategy to get more action? First thing is there's always more books, right? Like there's still a lot of books out there that you probably haven't signed up for. Greg mentioned earlier, sign up with any of those books through the links that we have down below or over on the OddsShopper site and get a free month of portfolio EV anyway. Otherwise, the mass entry tool really helps account for that. Like I've been using this tool for, I don't know, a couple of years now. So I'm limited. I have some form of limits everywhere, and it hasn't stopped me from doing it every day because I can get more than enough volume down each day to make it worthwhile. And then some books just won't limit you as bad, and then you use them a little bit heavier. But for the most part, it's going to happen. Any better that's getting closing line value significantly. This is not just with portfolio EV. Like if you're originating your own bets, if you're using projection and you're constantly getting closing line value, they're going to limit you just as they would with any positive EV tool. So
yeah, and the other thing too, like Lofty said, you sign up at other books. We got constantly. I mean, we got ones we never even seen the logos of. We can't even identify what some of these books are because they're so new. But then also, I've had some days, especially coming out of the All-Star. I don't know how much volume you've been able to bet recently, Lofty, but I've had like 150 to 200 bets per day.
Yeah, me too.
Even if your max bet is like $8. Right, you're still getting a pretty good amount of volume down if you're betting that in terms of just dollar amount. If you could bet that many bets per day,
it still adds up. Plus, the more bets you're making, the better chance of winning you're going to get for sure. Hey, I want to do a couple other things here before we go. First, let's scroll the board, see if anything jumps out, and then build one more parlay before we say goodbye because we got two in right now. I'm not paying out the winnings on a 2-leg FanDuel. Everything's got to be like 3 or 4 legs to make it worthwhile for all of us. But if there's anything else that stands out, Greg, if you want to scroll down on these to see if we can find some other good bets, like the Paul George one we already grabbed in a parlay.
Yep.
Thompson is at plus 114 now, under 5.5. So
it's moving like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we just got that at a really good spot. A really good spot. Understandably, it's still positive under 5.5, and we paid for the 6.5, but Penny's still sitting 5.5 minus 141. So odd spot, but we'll take it. Is that what we got on the board right now? We still got more. A lot of good bets. First week's free, guys. Link down there in the description. Use that link. Get your first week 100% free. Set up some portfolios. If you have questions, hit us up. We'll help you do it. We'll help you get all set up to get as many bets in a day. Get on all the books. Turn notifications on in the OddsShopper app. We just updated the UI. It looks pretty slick. Yeah, looks pretty good.
So a lot of these bets are the Clippers role players that just haven't been updated. Amir
Yeah.
Coffey, Bogdanovich, another Amir Coffey, Derek Jones Jr., another Amir Coffey line, another Derek Jones Jr. line. I saw Zubac's line. So as you scroll down, it's a lot of those Clippers numbers. I'm still a little hesitant to bet those, though. Oh, never mind. Brett Hunter just said Pinnacle is starting to move the Clippers lines. Okay.
This is what's nice when we have viewers like that are paying attention to this stuff, you know?
Yeah, let's see.
John Daly. Yeah, thank you, man. I'm glad this helps because it helps me too. Said he loves having the show on, especially when news is rolling in. Hell yeah, man. Like this, yeah. There you go. Okay.
All right. So now I feel better about some of these Clippers props now that we see that the lines have actually been updated here. So these are bets now that I'd feel good about taking, where we've got Derek Jones Jr. under 15.5 PRA. PRA has been a really good market on BetMGM. Under 16.5 PRA on Amir Coffey. We've got under 2.5 threes on BetMGM on Bogdanovich. So yeah, some of these BetMGM lines now look pretty good.
Let's build a BetMGM parlay before we go. Still learning the new layout here, huh?
Yeah. Still thinking to click where I would click before.
Ryan asked, is rebet considered sharp? I'm seeing plays without pinning. They're actually one of the social sports books where you'll get less quality bets popping up per day. I don't know if you'd call them sharp, Greg, but they have been pretty good.
We weight them pretty heavily in a couple of markets.
Yeah, which is very interesting that we're waiting. And by the way, Greg's talking about weighting them, you know, as far as like us getting true odds for these bets and what books you'd weigh. Like, we're not using BetRivers for any NBA props.
Yeah.
Right? Certain things. Surprisingly, BetRivers, Sugar House, Unibet, that were actually relatively sharp for baseball props.
And for hockey shots on goal, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Which is funny. All right.
Let's see. We've got. All right. So we could build, if we were to not make it a same game parlay and just do it individual parlay, we could go Amir Coffey under 12.5 points, Naz Reid under 8.5 rebounds, Anthony Simons under 30.5 PRA. I typically try to, here are the markets I try to target most frequently on BetMGM. PRA and assist. Anytime I could get PRA or assist, I feel really good about it. For BetMGM, we've got like 9 and 7% ROIs on those markets for the season. So let's see. Could we change out?
And on FanDuel, points and rebounds, shots on goal for NHL. DraftKings is essentially anything.
All right. So if I took Coffey out I'm just going to make it the PRA instead of the points line. All right. Yeah, I feel good about this. We've got Naz Reid under 8.5 rebounds, Anthony Simons under 30.5 PRA, Amir Coffey under 16.5 PRA. This is BetMGM. The line comes out to plus 483, 7% expected ROI here. It's plus 471 on ESPN, plus 419 on Caesars. Those are the only two other books that this is available on.
Okay. Gets us to, okay, plus 483. Not bad. I did want to see if there was a same game parlay we could build for the DraftKings promo before we go.
Let's see.
I'm looking now on my phone to see if there's anything that stands out.
Okay, so we would need another OKC or Minnesota line. It has to be 4 legs, though. Is that correct?
Yeah, 4 legs.
Okay. I think we might be stuck in the same spot as... Oh,
I
no.
think we are.
Unless they don't let us do unders there again. Because we've got...
I don't know why they would. The problem is also anytime we decide that we wanted to take 2 props from the same player on unders, like threes and points, it's just the odds are the correlation there with the odd is so strong that I don't think we could turn it plus EV anyway. And guys, this is something to keep in mind. Like if you're new to this type of betting, I always say, again, even if you don't use these tools, right? Even if you want to do it your own way, keep them, like, notice how important this is, that like if we throw a parlay out there, like earlier, where it was, what did we have? Who was it? Nang, right? We had 2 of his props in the same one, under 1.5 threes and under 11.5 points. They were giving us 7-1 odds on that for a 4-legger with that one in there as well. Whereas we're saying the uncorrelated odds should have been like 13 plus 1,300. Even with the 20% boost, it got you around 850. So still just a clear minus EV bet. Those are things that'll just wipe you out in the long run. Even if you hit one, even if you see people hitting them on Twitter and stuff, ask yourself when you look at them, like, they hit it, but is that a long-term profitable bet? And a lot of them, in a lot of cases, the answer is going to be no. I don't know if you're trying to plug this in right now, if they're actually giving us unders.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm checking.
No, Jalen West. I have not looked into betting preseason baseball. I have not. I have not. I love betting preseason football, though. I'm not sure from an ROI standpoint if I have a better market for myself, personal record, than personal ROI than preseason football. It's very, very beatable.
There we go.
I also know a lot more about football than I do about baseball.
Preseason NFL. Anything else in terms of weird markets that you look at?
Nah. Well, I know you have some. Preseason football for me is one where people will tell you, don't bet it. That's dumb. But it's not. Like, there's a reason that books have, much tighter limits on preseason football. It's because the amount of research you have to do into a lot of those is significant. And you can't cover every single one of those angles. You can't cover all the info. It's a big information game. But you can bet like first quarter spreads, second quarter, like first half money lines and stuff. If you understand how preseason football works and you can get the right reads on it, it actually can be very profitable. What about you? You're a big futures guy.
Yeah. So for me, awards, pretty regularly, I have like a 20 to 30% ROI on futures per year. And a lot of that's just from award betting.
Yeah, which is awesome. Smaller asks, curious why you have BR turned off for NBA, but FanDuel on. When looking at Portfolio Lab, FanDuel's red. BetRivers is mostly green. Yeah, because BetRivers, as Greg calls it, is kind of a fake book.
Yeah, like they post odds, but if you're on the book for a day and you win or you get closing line value, they just cut you off and cut you off.
You don't need to win.
Yeah, cut you off to the point where it's not usable. Like I could use a book if it limits me. Like DraftKings, sometimes I go to place a bet and it'll be like a $5 limit, an $8 limit. I could still make money on $5 and $8 limits. I can't on BetRivers where it's less than $1. That's not worth my time.
Yeah, 30
less than $1 isn't worth my time. So
No.
The reason, Smola, it's not that we aren't looking at BetRivers because we don't think it's beatable for basketball. It's certainly not the case. It's just that we can't use the book.
Yeah, I highly recommend, if you are using the tools, still sign up on BetRivers. Like, milk it while you can. But just understand you won't be there very long. That's all. All right. Are they still not offering unders on those same game parlays?
Still can't do the unders.
Of course you can't. Anyway, so we got 2 parlays built out. Two good ones. If anything hits, you guys get paid out. I'll pay the winner out today. At the very least, announce it, but we'll get that. That was a plus 831 that Ben and I hit on Friday. Love to see it too. 2 unders, 2 overs. That's it's not very often you see that here on the tools. And the reason you get more unders, we tell you every time, but yeah, there's just been all of our stuff's back tested, rigorous back testing. And we found that the unders have been more profitable, that there's more juice on a lot of these overs, and the unders are just going to have value. We only care about value. Call it the boring way of betting. Who gives a shit? If the boring way means making money, I look at it like this. Think of it sometimes as you're clocking into work and you only have to work 30 minutes a day, Greg. But that 30 minutes a day consists of you placing bets because you love sports anyway. And then after you get done your real job, you get to watch the games or don't watch them if you don't want to. That's the way I see it, right? Like it's the end result. It's less the journey, more the destination. And if the destination's profits, who cares how you're getting there?
Yeah. And like Lawfeed mentioned a few times over the course of the show, if you guys want to try out the tools, free trial. Link down below in the YouTube description box, 7 days for free. So no risk to you. No reason to not take advantage of it. Look at 022 in the chat said, I don't care about boring. I want to win. There you go.
Exactly.
Free trial.
Not everyone feels that. Eventually people will start feeling that way. Anyway, yeah, Lucas said the most profitable fun I've ever had. Exactly. If you're profiting, it's going to be fun. That's what it all boils down to, you know? Anyway, appreciate you guys. You ever have questions, hit us up. Let's win some bets, baby. Let's see what we can do tonight. We'll be back here tomorrow, right? We got a decent. I know we have a lot of hockey. How much basketball do we have?
We've got 12 hockey games. I'm pretty sure NBA is really balanced the rest of the season. There are not very many massive slates and not very many small slates yet. Yeah, we got 7 games. Yeah, here's what we have. 7 games tomorrow, 9 games Wednesday, 5 games Thursday, 10 games Friday.
Sweet.
We have, the rest of the regular season, every single slate other than 2 during the weekday has at least 6 games for the rest of the regular season.
Perfect. All right. And then you'll have those random stupid hockey nights with 1 game in the middle of the week. But we'll get value. Anyway, appreciate it. Hit us up. You have questions. DMs are always open. Even if it's just about betting in general, always happy to chat. And come check us out over at OddsShopper. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Like Greg said, nice big NHL slate, solid enough NBA slate. We'll have plenty of bets to dig into 1 o'clock Eastern. Peace.